The most optimistic development on the world stage that I've seen in decades is what's coming out of Eurasia, especially out of China and the Eurasian Economic Union, led by Russia and the other countries. And that is to build a grid. This was the dream of Sergei Witte in the end of the 19th century in Russia with the Trans-Siberian Railway project. But now to build a network crisscrossing all of the land space of Eurasia of high-speed rail infrastructure, of deep water ports that make it virtually impossible for NATO or for the United States Navy to control choke points like the Malacca Straits for the oil deliveries to China and elsewhere. And with that, to create what I think is going to emerge is a new alternative to the dollar as world reserve currency. By the way, keep in mind, the dollar as world reserve is one of the fundamental pillars of American hegemony worldwide since World War II, the other being the US military as the largest military power on earth. And that US dollar is teetering. It's the banking crisis of 2008 has not been solved. Interest rates cannot rise above 0.25% for 8 years. This is a critically ill financial system called the Wall Street banking system. And they lie to the world that the US economy is in recovery. In reality, it's been estimated the real unemployment of people who would like to have work but are no longer counted in the labor polls is 23% of the workforce. This is Great Depression in America. And the debt of the government is 103, 104% of GDP. Russia's national debt is something like 17% of GDP. You're a paradise in comparison. So this Eurasian infrastructure development is going to create the basis in a common land area of new markets, complete new markets in Central Asia that for the first time will be linked to a broader economy, to Russia, to China. And I think this is unstoppable at this point, and it's going to create the basis of a real, genuine economic prosperity for the first time since 1917 for Russia as well as for China and the other countries.